Regardless of whether you're camping in the Alps, the Lake District or the Himalaya, you'll need a suitably robust shelter to provide a haven from the elements. Dome and tunnel tents are particularly good if you're car camping. But if you've got to carry everything on your back, you'll want to trade some living space for a reduction in the weight and bulk of the tent.
There's an array of different tent designs on the market. All of them are trying to strike that perfect balance between maximising the living and sleeping space whilst minimising the weight and pack size. Here are 4 very different backpacking tents. This one-person tent is constructed around a single traverse hoop. The sleeping compartment runs perpendicular to the pole, which is secured using lightweight guy lines combined with power frame power clips and internal bracing. It's a surprisingly stable tent, and there's room inside for the solo traveller or 2 at a push. It might look small outside, but inside there's enough room for someone who's 6 foot like me to lie down and sit up comfortably. If you're camping with a companion, you'll probably need a tent with 2 or even 3 poles to increase the amount of living and sleeping space. Some tents, like this one, can be pitched inner first, outer first, or together for maximum flexibility in varying weather conditions.
This tent also has a gargantuan covered porch, which means you can keep all your kit under cover outside the sleeping compartment. This feature makes living in a tent during an extended period of bad weather much more pleasant, and pockets in the sleeping area help to keep things tidy.
Like a lot of high-quality tents, this one has a bathtub-style floor, which significantly reduces the chance of water creeping in at ground level.
Another popular type of backpacking tent is constructed around a semi-geodesic skeleton.
Unlike a traverse hoop or a tunnel tent, a semi-geodesic tent is self-supporting. Once you've erected it, you can simply pick it up and move it if you want to get a better view from the front door or to keep the porch out of the wind.
High-grade aluminium poles like the ones supplied with this tent are lighter than cheaper metal poles with no compromise in strength or durability.
However, if you're planning to camp above the snow line or on a very exposed site, you're probably going to want a full geodesic tent.
A geodesic tent consists of a number of interconnected panels that form a self-supporting structure. Unlike a 3-pole semi-geodesic tent, a full geodesic tent has a minimum of 4 poles.
This 2-person geodesic tent is impressively stable in high winds. One of the differences between geodesics and other types of tent is that they usually need to be pitched in a tent first. This means that you'll have to get the tent up quickly in wet weather.
This particular tent also has 2 entrances, which is useful in bad weather and when camping with lots of gear. It also helps to maximise airflow on hot nights.
If you want a generous amount of living and sleeping space, get a 2-person tent like this if you camp on your own, or a 3-person tent if you go camping with someone else.
Regardless of the type of tent you use, place a nylon footprint, a piece of plastic, or your closed-cell foam mat under the expensive sewn-in ground sheet to reduce the chance of it being damaged by rough ground.
This tent has mosquito nets at the back and front. They allow a cooling airflow in hot weather whilst keeping bugs at bay.